I'm Bob Johnson from Port Charlotte High School, Model UN Advisor.
And I'm Debbie Monk from Port Charlotte High as well, the co-sponsor for the team.
I'd say probably the aspect that we most focus in on is professionalism. We want our young men and women to understand what the real world is like. That's why we love the Model UN simulation, that they put themselves in similar situations as real delegates would. But not only delegates, but professionals, whether it's in the field of medicine or it's law or it's environment, whatever it is, that you need to know how to walk into a room with a group of people, know how to be social, know how to get down to business, know what those skills are, and really understand that there's a work ethic involved. And the way we approach Model UN is that work as hard as you can, go to conference and have a great time, go to wonderful cities, visit universities, have so much fun, and then come back and start to learn and do it all over again, because that's what professional life is. So I'd say without a doubt.
Right. Another thing I'd like for them to learn is that they can do it. They come to us as shy, either freshmen or sophomores, and might be intimidated, but we want them to understand that they have it within themselves deep down, and they can dig for it, and they can get those experiences and become fabulous delegates and fabulous young men and women through this program as well.
And then lastly, probably our third is to give back.
Yeah.
And not only to give back to the younger delegates who come on the team who need to be nurtured, need to be trained, but the kids on our team do giving back through. We run an international market every year. We have for the last 16 years, which brings arts and crafts from indigenous artisans in developing countries, and we've sold them, and I think now we've probably contributed over $200,000 back to the villages where those artisans hail from. And they run outreach programs in the community. They put on a middle school Model UN conference, a 2-day for kids, and they also run what they call a FACS program, which is they go out and for 6 weeks they put on workshops at different elementary schools that then culminates in a debate in this library. And this year that debate, I think there were over 200 parents, grandparents, and community members who came to see it. Wow. So those are the three big ones for us.
Hi, I'm Susan Soulard, and I'm with Marsha Lane. We're the coaches of Model UN at Gulf Coast High School. And we've been asked to discuss what our goal is for our team overall. And this has been a learning process this year. And one competition in particular taught me a good lesson. I had one delegate who came away crying after she won second place, and I had one delegate who came away smiling, having won nothing. And so I asked the girl that was smiling, and she said that she had learned so much the competition, and it put it into perspective for me, especially with our team this year, to take the focus off always winning and really focusing on what kids learn in Model UN. And for me, that's research skills, writing skills, speaking skills, and skills they need for the rest of their life. And the focus really should be that. If the awards come, then that's just a benefit.
We're finding out even with the faculty and staff here at the school, all of the amazing things that are coming out of the kids being in this program altogether, because they're getting, with all the skills, like Sue said, that the kids are getting, we're seeing just an overall difference in kind of the attitude toward this type of competitive nature of what they're doing. We're seeing so many good things come out of it, and we're getting a lot of people are really interested in world issues and interested in more topics than what I've noticed in the past. So it's kind of nice because it's more outreaching than just the kids on the team.
I'm Evan Crawford. I'm the Canterbury School Model United Nations Advisor. And for me, out of all the things that the students learn throughout the MUN process, whether it's preparation or in conference, what I stress to them the most is to persevere, that if they're going to be committing to a conference, whether it's a small conference or a large 3,000 student conference, that they are there to compete, they're there to debate, and they will be involved. And if you're going to do something, then you really should be giving it your 100%. That we don't just take you so you can get a free trip somewhere, well, not free, but an expensive trip somewhere, and that no matter what happens that they're not supposed to get down, and that things are going to go bad sometimes. You're going to have sessions where you don't get called on, and it's always the chair doesn't like me, the chair doesn't call on me. Well, everyone has said that at one point in their career, and that they just need to continue to have a positive attitude and not to give up, not to slack, and not just to call it quits. And those are the delegates, and I'm happy to say that that's pretty much most of the delegates we have here are like that, and those are the ones we continue to take to these conferences. And sure, a lot of the students are competitive. They like to win awards, but our mantra has always been, if you do what we ask you to do, which is be involved and be prepared and do things well, that's all we can ask. And a lot of times that does result in awards because we have very talented students. But even if it doesn't result in an award, if you can finish and say, I went and I didn't quit and I did what I was supposed to do and I don't regret any of the decisions I made, then everybody here is happy. So.
All right, go for it.
I'm Harriet Motes, Cape Coral High School, Model UN, and I think what I want the students to get out of there is a curiosity and an empathy for what's going on in other areas.
Hi, I'm Michael Cook from Cape Coral High School, and the biggest thing that I really want the students to be able to extract from the Model UN experience is the idea of how to compromise. It's easy to have an opinion, and it's easy to dig your heels in the ground and say, this is the only possibility. What's tougher is coming up with solutions, because insisting on your vision, it's not going to get us too far. But coming together through dialogue, through discussion, seeing where you can compromise, but at the same time staying true to your principles and fundamental values is the skill that students are going to need if they're going to be participants in a democracy.